my life, removing pain. Lord, let my words heal a heart that hurts. I want to spend my life mending broken people. I want to spend my life mending broken people.
Hello and welcome to another 3ABN Today program. I'm Jason Bradley and I'm excited about the topic that we will be discussing. It is Project 144. What is Project 144? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. Here with me is Raven White, and she is the Project 144 founder and wellness coach. Welcome to the program, Raven.
Thank you, thank you.
It's great to have you here.
It's wonderful to be here.
I'm looking forward to diving into this interview here and
tell you everything.
Yes, I want to know about wellness. I want to know about Project 144, how it got started and all of that.
Okay.
But before we dive in, we're going to be blessed in song by John Stoddard.
Okay.
And the song is entitled, Come Thou Fount.
Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing your grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise, and teach me ever to adore thee. May I still thy goodness prove, while the hope of endless glory fills my heart with joy and love. Oh, here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I've come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the throne of God. He to rescue me from danger, he interposed his precious blood. His precious blood. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. And let thy goodness, like a fetter, draw me closer, Lord, to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I my love. So here's my heart, Lord. Take and seal it for your courts above. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for your courts above. Seal it for your courts above. Seal it for your courts above. Seal it for your courts above.
Wow, John Stoddard is truly gifted. He can play and sing.
Amen.
Hopefully when we get to heaven, I'll be able to do the same.
Can't do that. I
definitely can't sing right now for sure. But Raven, I want to jump into what Project 144 is all about.
Okay.
We actually have a little video that tells us a little bit about Project 144.
Right.
And after that video, maybe you can expound upon that.
Okay.
Let's go check out that video now.
Wherever you are, whatever your needs are for a better health, our lifestyle agents are here to assist you. Project 144 connects lifestyle agents who are educated in natural remedies and herbal medicine with those who are in need. Whether you are needing a live-in lifestyle coach for short or long term, needing some coaching after leaving your lifestyle center program, or are needing counseling via phone or video call, we are here for you. It's time to heal from what is holding you back of living your life to the fullest. Call now at 423-521-5058 or go to missionaryagency.com and we will get you set up with the right lifestyle agent for you.
Wow, that was a really interesting and nice clip to show us a little bit about what Project 144 is about. What can you add to that?
Well, one of the things that I love about our agency is that it's really people who are just trying to utilize their skills to reach souls for Christ. I was never one who's going to be the Bible worker, call porter, knock on a door, selling some books. That's not who I am. But I want to be able to help finish the work like everyone else. So our agency is full of people who says, we want to utilize health to do that. So we learn natural remedies, whether it's herbs or how to do hydrotherapy, vegan cooking, exercise plans, time management, helping you with your depression. We're trying to empower you, you know?
Yeah.
And so in our agency, I don't want to just help the client. I want to keep the agent well as well. So I check in each week to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with various clients who are hurting, sometimes they hurt back, and they don't mean to. You know, you have Alzheimer's patients who don't remember what they're doing, and sometimes they scream and they yell, and you have to remember not to take it personal. And we're there to help people know Christ. Even in our agency, at times, we've even helped people prepare for death. And we've been with them until they died. I mean, we had one just recently, family is not even Christian, but they were willing to hear the gospel and let her die in peace and invited us to the funeral in another country. So that's just what we're about. It's about finishing the work and reaching souls for Christ, but we just choose to do it in this way, in a practical way.
Praise the Lord. Well, how did you, or where did you receive your training?
Wildwood Center of Health Evangelism, where I am still working now as an integration director at the Lifestyle Center. They taught me, again, disease and treatment, natural remedies, and when I was in the advanced course, they have a 6-month course and a 1-year course.
Okay.
I did the advanced course, and while I was there, I was like, guys, you know, we're not going to remember all this stuff. It's good to apply it now. And so at that time, I had a ministry called Regaining Eden. I learned it from a quote I read in Spirit of Prophecy, which says, if we can regain Eden by following Christ's methods. And so I was thinking, let's name the ministry Regaining Eden, and let's learn things. And so we had people call us, send us their medical records as students. And we're talking to them, going through the encyclopedias that we have written, as, you know, our Adventist doctors wrote. And we're trying to help them with their health. We're going out to churches and we're doing health programs as students, you know? And then we decided we wanted to create a network system. But at the time, we didn't really have anything set, but we were thinking, how do we support one another when we all leave?
Oh, yes.
And so that kind of was birthed there. And it really didn't come to light until 2014 when my dad was dying. And I was trying to find someone to send to his home who knew natural remedies, who can help my dad. But there really wasn't an organized hub for that. So by 2015, and me just trying to find people to say, hey, are you interested? Are you interested, to try to get into a hub? I had more people contacting me because word of mouth went around fast.
Yeah.
And so I started sending people out, just connecting people, just whoever was willing to go. By 2016, it became solid.
Wow.
You know, like, let's just make it a business, because people after a while started to want to know, are you legit?
Yeah.
And becoming a business makes you legit, but it really is, again, people who just want to share the gospel of Jesus, but utilizing the health message to do it.
Yeah.
So at Wildwood, they teach you all of these things. How to help with diabetes, hypertension, cancer, naturally, the same way what we do in lifestyle centers. So we're taking what you would do at a lifestyle center and we're bringing it to your home. Whether we talk to you on the phone, you know, doing it on the internet, or coming into your home doing a visit, and a minimum of at least 4 hours if we need. We have a lady who said that, can you just come help me with my kitchen? You know, what should I get rid of? How should I cook? How should I eat? How should I shop?
It's interesting because a lot of people don't know that, though. I mean, those are things that a lot of people grow up without knowing. You know, how should I eat? How should I shop, like you said?
Exactly, and it gets, you have trepidation in trying to change to a new lifestyle with the old habits in your old environment. So we're willing to take that extra step and empower you. So that's what makes us a little different. You'll have other agencies that are non-medical, but what makes us different is that we will pray with you. We will bring the natural remedies aspect. We will empower you. So it's not just coming to do it all for you, but it's to do it with you and assist you as well. And we check in to make sure everyone is doing well on a continual basis, so there's peace with the service.
Yes, and it's not just a business. This is a ministry.
It's a ministry, exactly, exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Now, what advanced courses, tell me about some advanced courses.
Okay, so at the Center of Health Evangelism, now they have, if you want to, the 6-month course will teach you everything. Okay. Okay, massage, hydrotherapy. But then if you say, I want to know deeper. Okay, so you have the advanced course where it has just lifestyle training, lifestyle coaching, and then you have the business course. And I teach the entrepreneur business course. I mean, class, at least a class in the course. Okay, so for those who said, I want to start a business, I want to know a little bit more, how do I run my own? Or, hey, I want to do more lifestyle, get out there and do one-on-one or work in a lifestyle center, we have those two for the advanced course. And it's usually a 1-year course, and then you do an apprenticeship as well to help train you in that.
Nice. Wow, okay. And what are, let's say, all of the services that Project 144 offers? I know you said you go into the homes, you may look and see what they have, help them with their shopping list, help them learn how to eat. What other things?
So you have a breakdown of the coaching, consultation coaching, where we really get into the depths, hearing your goals, and then saying, how can we meet your needs? What are you doing? What are you eating? How are you living? How are you sleeping? How are you working? What are your thought pattern based upon your goals? Or if someone says, I need someone long-term, that's caregiving.
Gotcha.
So we have someone for that. We also have, I actually need a lifestyle program. I can't go out to Wildwood. I can't go out to UT Pines. You know, can you come do it here? Or can you follow up from a lifestyle program? How do I take what I've learned in my lifestyle program into my home?
Yes.
We're trying to even get to the point where if your doctors tell you something and you're like, I don't know how to apply this. How do I apply this? Then we can be able to help with that.
Wow.
And then we also have an education system. So if you would like us to come to you, we've had our agents go into homes and educate you in your home. We can educate your church, we can educate your business. And just teach them, I mean, basic, if you have hypertension, something as simple as putting heating pad on your kidneys will help lower your blood pressure. So something as simple as that, doing a hot foot bath, basic things, you don't need Tylenol.
Yeah.
We want to teach that. So they are empowered to help others.
So there's a lot of natural remedies that are available that will, you know, a lot of times when you look at medicine, right? Medicine just masks the symptoms, but it doesn't go to the root cause.
Right, exactly.
So you guys kind of find the root cause and treat that?
To the best of our ability, we hear what your chief complaint is.
Okay.
And we try to meet your needs with your chief complaint. If we need us to work with your provider, we can do that. Now we have a nurse practitioner on staff. So if you need a little bit extra wisdom and knowledge on what to do, we have her, mental health specialist. We're even looking for a nutritionist. Plug.
Okay.
You know, a doctor supervisor, plug. You know, so it's what we're trying to do. We're trying to become a little bit more holistic for those who cannot come to a lifestyle program. How can we bring it to you? Because
sometimes it's hard to go away for 6 weeks, or you know, or however long the program may be. You have to go to work. You have to. Yeah. So that's beautiful that you go into the home. Now, where are these services available?
Well, actually nationwide. I'm trying to get an agent in every state. Right now, and there's only a few agents and maybe the major like New York and Connecticut, DC and Chattanooga. But I'm trying to get them all over so people don't have to keep flying people such far distances. I've even had people call me from out the country. Now, I don't really delve in that too much, only because I want to make sure I'm not sending anyone from their area to their home and I don't know them.
And that brings me to my next question for you is, people at home may be concerned about who's coming into their home, and naturally so.
Right.
What kind of safety guidelines or parameters do you have in place?
Okay. So one of the things is a 9-reference background check. So I personally call each place asking about their character, asking about their work ethic, their spiritual ethic, as well as trying to see where their mindset is in dealing with people in their home. How do they handle anger? How do they handle when a person won't follow their lead and keep up what they're asking for? Because that deals with the emotional aspect of that pride, making sure that you're not sending someone in there who's rough.
Yeah.
So, but I also do a check on the people themselves. I've sent my agents out places and I want to make sure that their homes are safe as well.
Yes.
So I do reference checks on the clients as well. And if we need to do a background check, we will. But one of my future goals is to put agents in various places so they can go check the homes as well. So that's something else that I want to do. But each week I try to check in again with the client and with the agent to make sure everything's okay.
Nice. And what types of conditions do you help with?
Okay, so at this point, we will take on anything, but we will let people know, again, we're not the healer, we're just a catalyst, so we'll try to do our best. And some people come in such late stages that we'll let them know the natural remedies probably won't work in a time period that you're giving us.
Yes.
Someone who's saying, I just want to lose some weight. But that's a very different, probably within a week or two, we can make that really happen depending on your goals.
Yes.
But for someone who has stage 4 cancer, well, 11 days or 25 days is not going to reverse that so fast, if you can give us the time. So like I've mentioned before, we had a person who was in late stage and we helped them pass away. We were with them, we prayed with them, and we did the best we could, giving them still a hope that they can live a better life until they die. And so they died with less pain, without being pumped with medications. But We're willing to take it on. We would suggest some people probably go to a lifestyle center first. We'll try to work with their medical professionals as much as we can. But we want to give people hope that they're not doing it alone. And that's really the biggest thing that we'll do. So we'll take on anything, but we're not allowed, because we're not medical professionals, to touch medications, which makes it very difficult for them at times. So they would need another person to come in and put their medications together, and we'll remind them to take their medications. But we'll do everything else to try to the best of our ability.
Nice. And do you have a specific demographic in terms of age or need?
Well, honestly, we deal with 45 and up. That demographic is much more willing to be honest that they have a problem, as well as they have the ability to pay. We've worked with younger people, but it's still that demographic saying, hey, can you help my niece and nephew or my child? So that demographics is usually 40 and up. We'll be willing to help.
And what's the difference between a lifestyle center and Project 144?
Okay, so we're the 101 Lifestyle Center. So in the Lifestyle Center, you'll have a department who's geared for your hydrotherapy. You know, the kitchen is geared for your health. And you'll have maybe even your medical providers, what we will have at Uchee Pines or Wildwood. With us, we're that one person doing everything. So instead of a fancy 16-jet contrast shower that you'll get, you got your shower, hot, cold. Instead of some fomentation with a steam tank, we have towels, and we'll be using your oven or your microwave. So we'll give you the same treatments, but just understand it's in your home.
So you're improvising, utilizing the things that are available to you.
And that's why we check in with our agents, because it's a lot doing a whole lifestyle department program, and you're one person doing it yourself. You know, and you're living with that person 24 hours a day. If you're doing in-home programs.
Got you. So what people are probably thinking, like, what is the cost?
What does this cost?
You know, does it vary?
Arm and a leg.
How much? Like, what are the costs for the services you offer?
It's definitely a little cheaper because it's in your home. So it ranges from $600 to about $1,000 a week, depending on if a person just wants a companion. Or they want someone in their home who knows natural remedies, hydrotherapy, doing the vegan cooking, going out shopping for them, cleaning for them, or they're just giving them information. So there's a range, or doing a full lifestyle program, or caregiving. It ranges.
Got you. Based on the services.
It's based on the services,
what kind of financing is available?
So God has blessed that we have Care Credit partnered with another group where they're able to pay for their medical services up front, and then they have 6 months to a year to pay back with no interest. We've also learned from our nurse practitioner about super bill. So we're able to give a bill that's been set up that you can give to your insurance company, and they're able to say, hey, I have out of coverage services here. If you could just help me pay for it, whatever little bit you can give, it would be great. So that's what I've learned about Superville as of recently, something we're going to try to add to it. We are looking to have a fund for low-income, clients. We're working with a nonprofit organization right now that does tax write-offs. So anytime you want to give to help support the ministry, you can be able to get a tax write-off, but we're trying to develop just a fund just for them. So for a lot of people who can't pay, because it is out of pocket. If we do get a supervisor, a medical supervisor, then we'll probably be able to start now billing insurance companies, because now I have a medical mental health specialist on team, and I have a nurse practitioner on team. So that's a good thing. We're trying to get a nutritionist, like I was mentioning before, but they can bill for their services.
So you're currently looking for those positions to be filled. We want to make sure we put that out there as well.
Because we're trying to help the client. We're trying to help the person, and the whole goal, again, is utilizing our skills. To reach souls for Christ.
Amen.
So we can finish this work, right?
Amen.
So that's kind of the thing we're doing.
Well, tell us about some of your workers. Some of your employees.
They vary. They're from the person who says, look, I don't know anything, but I want to help. Can you help me out with just that? I do want to utilize my heart and whatever skills I have. And then we have nurses You know, we have mental health specialists, we have CNAs, we have various people who've been doing the medical missionary work for 15 years.
Wow.
So I have 2 testimonies where we have one young lady who, her husband's a nurse though, but she herself is like, look, I just want to get into this medical missionary stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a lady say, but I need somebody right now. And I said, well, I don't really have anyone. They're all already designated out, but I do have this young lady who's willing to come help. And what I'll do is I'll utilize the skills and the knowledge I've learned from the Center of Health Evangelism to be able to, you know, help you as much as I can. So we would tag team, you know, and I would give her information. I sent her diabetic, and it was a diabetic patient at the time. Sent her diabetic menus.
Wow.
I sent her hydrotherapy treatment she could do, and the lady is now off her insulin.
Wow.
And so then I had another lady just come from Arizona. She went to help out, and the beautiful part is the lady could not walk. I was like, are you kidding me? And her legs were swollen. Within 3 weeks, she's walking.
Wow.
She's walking.
Praise the
and the
Lord.
lady came and gave a testimony at Wildwood. So I was like, yay.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
So the thing is, but I ended up telling her, texting her like, okay, do this hydro treatment, do this, because there are people who are skilled, but they're already sent out. And so that's one of the things I want to have for the future is on-job training, because I believe our institutions are great in training people. Their knowledge is superior.
Yes.
But now I'm trying to get someone who's prepared to do in-home training alone. How do I handle type 2 diabetes or even type 1 diabetes? How do I handle stage 4 cancer? We're getting a lot of cancer patients. How do I handle with someone with chronic pain? You know, just knowing that kind of knowledge and being prepared to handle emotional people who are saying, I'm in pain, I'm angry, I'm screaming, I'm hollering, I can't deal with this anymore. And it's like, my client's able to, my agent is able to say, you know what, we can do this. I know how to call upon the Lord and say, Lord, you need to help me with this.
Yes.
Because that it's a mental training as well as just skills. So at this stage, we'll take on. We'll take on people, but as we're taking on people, I want them to be prepared.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
to handle whatever situation with Christ. And that's the key thing when it comes to my agents, but I'll take you on. And if you have enough skills, I can probably just put you out there depending on what the client is willing to take or what they need. But majority of people I say, could you please go to Wildwood? Or even take a Light program.
Yes.
Light does 1-month medical missionary programs.
Okay.
So that's another place where I send them for that as well.
Okay. You know, one of the things I like about your company or organization is that you look at both sides. So you take care of your agents, you make sure that they're safe and taken care of, and you also go to the client and you're making sure that they're going to be safe and taken care of as well. What's your recruitment process?
Usually I go to medical missionary schools because, again, trying to get people who know about natural remedies, disease and treatment, nutrition, hydrotherapy. So I start there. Eventually I started branching out to Indeed, you know, and other job sites because many people are already out there. And so they may be looking, I do Facebook. I try to go to churches. Word of mouth is really big. So that's kind of where the recruitment right now. I really want to have this conference because I want to unite medical missionaries together, which I call Project Central. A supportive networking system I would like to develop and have a hub, again, for medical missionaries. And even those who are not just doing health, but they're doing graphic design. Maybe they're doing video editing. Maybe they're doing auto mechanics, but they want to utilize their skills to reach souls for Christ. So my desire, again, is to create a hub to support one another, individuals though. But for the agency itself, yes, I usually do medical missionary schools or Facebook or word of mouth to try to get people. Or 3ABN.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. That's a great one there. How long is your training process?
So it either can be a 1 month, like with the Light program. When it comes to me personally, I train them, we're trying to do at least a week or 2 to really get them into basic things that they need, in vegan cooking, hydrotherapy. Those are the basic things that they would need to know, at least for the training aspect. And we're just going to try to build more on that. But right now, the quickest thing when someone comes and says, I don't know what I'm doing, can you please help me? Here's some recipes, here's some treatments, and let's work with you, you know, on that.
What would you say to someone who's interested in working with you, but perhaps they don't have any experience?
Come on down.
Okay.
Come. Let us see what you have. A lot of times we would say a person doesn't have any experience, but they really do. Some people need that companion care. Some people need to know that they're not failures and you're a wonderful encourager. And then just again, like the two people I had prior, they took the little bit of knowledge I gave them for diabetes, for swollen legs, for the ability to not be able to walk and be able to make an impact in their lives because they were willing.
Yeah.
So for my deeper patients, yes, I need you to know a little bit more into the treatment so you can stand on your own. But for small things, no, come on, join. And if there's something else you need to know more, then we'll guide you in the right direction.
Yes. How have you impacted your clients spiritually?
Okay, so we already got the physical aspect, which is usually the easiest one people think is, but it's actually 9/10 of all diseases start in the mind. Okay, so when we counsel them, when we ask them, how are you doing with your time management? How are you doing with your worship life? You know, are you sleeping? A lot of times people have been abused. Some people have still dealing with grief. They're dealing with denial of life, unforgiveness. And we found that as we work with them, the ulcers that they had in their stomach is going away. You know, the pains that they have in their body is going away because now they're dealing with really the mental that is causing the physical. And God has blessed a lot. So again, with the lady that has stage 4 cancer, when you're dealing with cancer patients, sometimes you're dealing with people who feel like they have no hope because the world is telling them it's a done deal. And so try to encourage them and have worship with them and give them hope that Christ has the power to heal, even if it's just emotionally and mentally, and we leave the physical to Him. It's been a blessing. It has truly been a blessing. So that is that's more because people know we're Christians, so they're more open. And so that's the more of a one that we can almost say that almost with all clients.
Have you always been passionate about health and wellness, like your whole life, or
I wasn't
when
even
did
a
that
Christian
come out
growing
about?
up.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't a Christian. I actually had a misconception about God. Health helped me understand that there was a higher power about God. Creationism, just understanding why the body is functioning the way it's functioning. And people kept saying, oh, you know, we're evolutionists, we come from monkeys. You come from a monkey. I don't come from a monkey. So as I started to read and study more about Christianity, I started to learn then about natural remedies and just various things. And so my brother went into a coma and he came out of it. And they thought he should have been brain dead because he's type 1 diabetic. My friends went to Wildwood, and I thought the place was a little whacked out because who works for a little bit of money to try to take care of people? That wasn't something I'm used to. But when he got sick, I was like, go to Wildwood. You know, there's some people working for a little bit of money for those who are sick. And I was 220 pounds at the time. And he said, well, if that's the case and you're sickly, why is it not working for you?
Wow.
Okay, I think I told your mom that one time we had a conversation. That was the biggest rebuke ever. So me going there, I learned about health there. And they kept saying the diverticulitis that I had is incurable. They said the fibroids will never go away. But I've left atheism to become a Christian. So I didn't see why, if God can do that in healing all these people in the Bible and all the testimonies you all preach, why can't He heal me? And I followed the regimen that I was told there at Wildwood. And again, I turned around, the doctor was saying, no, you never had diverticulitis. I said, why is that? They said, because we can't find any diverticulums in your intestines.
Wow.
I said, it wasn't my machine that told me I had it. And it wasn't my machine that told me I didn't. And the same with the fibroids. And so one of the things that I learned just about health, I'm passionate about it because when my dad was passing away, I lost 60 pounds. But then when he passed away, I learned about grief. And that's when it made me really get more into mental health. Because then you don't know how much your thought pattern affects your body. Then I gained all this weight. And so I started to realize how long it took me to bounce back. But you don't put the two and two together. What is the coping mechanisms that is really keeping you from your goals? And that's what started to develop my passion to do more of this because I've seen in my personal life, I know about health education. I know about the gospel. But even myself, when I was going through something, something, I didn't know how to apply it. It was a struggle alone. And sometimes you need assistance.
Yeah.
I see the lifestyle guests that we have that go home and they're struggling to keep up, even though they were sincere when they came and they were sincere when they left.
Yeah.
But habit kicks in and it gets hard.
Yes.
And so after a while, it's like, no, I can't have someone else be like my dad, trying to find some help. I can't sit back and keep having pride to say I should have been taking care of myself all this time and realize now we're dealing 5 years later and I'm now getting back to say, I see what kept me from my goals.
Yeah.
Now I'm losing my weight now.
Yeah.
But people can see me and say, Raven, how can you be so big, baby? You know? But it's like, you know what? I had to learn that grief, depression, unforgiveness really can cause a lot, you know, and you don't know it. So you don't know what you're fighting against.
Yeah.
And so I have a passion to teach people, you don't know the weapons of the warfare.
Yeah.
And now you need to know it, and how do you combat it with God?
Yeah.
That's what I want to teach people. So I had to go through my own stuff.
Yeah, and that is beautiful. I mean, the combination of the two, not just the health message, but combining, you know, good health and wellness with spirituality, with Christ, with God. That is beautiful. You sound like you have a powerful testimony, and I kind of want to touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
So you went from being atheist to Christian. How long were you atheist for?
Really all my upbringing. I dealt with some abuse in the past, and one of the people who abused me at one point prayed with me. And so my understanding of a God wanted me sexually abused. And so it took me a minute. Everyone in my family eventually bounced back, got into Christ after certain periods of things that happened in our lives. But me, myself, I was not dealing with it.
Yeah.
And how do you go around telling people, oh, because all this stuff happened to me, woo, woo, woo. But in the end, that abuse hindered me from getting education. I couldn't read until the age of 20. I had like a 3rd grade reading comprehension. And so they just kept pushing me through school.
Yeah.
And so from elementary, I can't remember what stage everything just shut down, but from elementary up to my 2nd year of college, I was in remedial classes.
Wow.
And so reading was difficult for me. And so I just would shut down and say, well, I'm not good enough. After you've been abused in certain areas, and it wasn't from the family, it was people, but you don't say anything.
Yeah.
That's some of the downsides about sometimes our Black communities, we don't speak about what goes on.
Yeah.
I could have just stepped up and said, hey, somebody help me. And the times that I did in work areas where I said, hey, somebody did something to me, nothing ever happened. So it settled in that you're not good enough, nothing would ever happen. You might as well just be quiet. And so for someone else, they said, they could get through that. Me, it took me a long time.
Yeah.
And I settled in myself, I was never good enough, which is one of the problems of starting the agency.
Okay.
Because I had this vision way back.
Yeah.
You know, when God gave me this, and then we got into school, and then it was like on fire. But then when people leave, I said, oh, I can't do nothing. I need to just stay at Wildwood. I'll be the seminar director, I'll just do this. I can't do anything. I can't be a leader. And that was me. But people kept saying, no, Raven, you can do it, you can do it. I'm like, no, I'm too stupid. I can't read, I can't focus. And so by 2012, someone says, hey, Raven, why don't you start an agency? Because they knew I had this passion to help medical missionaries who would leave these institutions and get out. But I said, no, I'm not smart enough for that.
Yeah.
So I wrote up the blueprint, gave it to various people, said, you all should do it. And they were like, no, Raven, you should do it. I said, no. Because for Raven, I'm not smart enough. I'm only good for sex. I'm only good for nothing. I'm not good for anything. Now, you don't say it, but you say it to yourself, okay? And then by 2013, someone said the same thing again. Hey, why don't you start an agency?
Wow.
Like, why don't you do it, you know? And those are verbatim words.
Yeah.
Then I found out my dad was dying in 2014. And I said, well, I'm leaving Wildwood. I'm gonna go home and take care of my dad. I need to find some work to do.
Yeah.
My friend said, why don't you call this lady? This lady should be able to give you some guidance, you know? And so she wouldn't call me back for like a week or two. And then she said, you know what, Raven? I was really praying about what God wanted me to tell you. He told me you should be a life coach or a wellness coach and start an agency. I said, let me ask you something. Do you know these two people? And she was like, no. I said, you mean to tell me God told you with verbatim words that I should start an agency? And at the time I was finishing a life and wellness coaching program. that Thomas Jackson at Meat Ministries.
Yeah, Dr. Jackson.
He believed in the work. I told him about the agency. See, I'm trying to tell everyone else to do it. Okay, and he said, no, you need to do it.
Yeah.
And I need to empower you. So I got even that from him, empowerment.
Yes.
I'm like, nah, guys, y'all don't get it.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that. Okay, I just showed it in anger, or I may showed it in many other ways, but I had a hard time saying, I feel I'm messed up and I'm no good.
So you internalized a lot of the things that you struggled with over the years, and you didn't verbalize it.
No, not really, not really. Even when I did, in the ways that I thought I was being clear, it seemed to fall on deaf ears. So of going, it made me trivialize it after a while. But when my dad died, that shifted everything.
Yeah.
At that point, I stopped caring.
Man.
But more so, again, even more about myself. But then I had this other internal drive within me to not let people be like my father.
Yes.
And so I have to admit, the bumbling through the years with this agency has saved me. It's given me purpose.
Yeah.
And it has taught me that my brokenness is not really brokenness. It was personally for myself, Satan's way of trying to just stop me from doing God's calling.
Absolutely. That he placed on your life.
There you go.
And that you were trying to give to everybody else.
Exactly.
Here, take this blueprint, run with it.
Exactly.
Take this blueprint, run with
exactly.
it. No, God called you to start that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that. Your vision is your vision. And I had a lot of discouraging people, even who started businesses. I've had people discourage me, like, no, Raven, it'll be too hard. And I'm like, well, of course it's hard, but you kept your business.
Yeah.
And you're still running your business. And so I had to learn that in the end, after now my father passed, and God kept me somehow, he just kept me. He kept me focused, looking at others and not focusing on myself, but focusing on others. I started to say, in the end, I'm not giving up. And even when I wanted to give up, then he'll send more people say, Raven, don't give up.
Yeah.
And so I started getting encouragement out the woodwork.
Yeah.
Out the woodwork, along with the discouragement. But I started to not look at them anymore and look at the encouragement. And it's been keeping me going. And so now I sit back and say, Raven, you can't look at the low self-esteem. Rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Yes.
You know, don't look at, I couldn't read, but you couldn't, but you can now.
Yes.
So stop speaking those negative words. And that's the thing we try to teach our guests. Words of life and death is in the tongue. Find out your coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Find out your kryptonite.
Yep.
You know, what is really holding you back? Because we're built to handle adversity. We're built to be strong. Because we're built from a strong God.
That's right.
You know, so a lot of our past redefine that experience and realize it only strengthened us to make us stronger to help others.
Wow.
So that's my belief system, and that's kind of the foundation of where this agency came in.
And that is deep. And you know, a lot of times it seems like people project their own fears and doubts onto you, you know, because I can't do something or I feel like I can't do something, then that means you can't do it either.
Right.
No, that's not true.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, I'm glad that you pressed for it. I'm glad that God got a hold of your life.
Thank you.
And pulled you out of that situation, and you're answering the calling that he's placed on your life.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Your passion really comes across for wellness and health and the whole thing. What is wellness to you?
Wellness is really complete wholeness. To be able to reach a person mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. I want you to be in a mindset of seeing life in yourself from God's point of view. That's wellness for me. And I want to make everyone, as much as possible, well.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. What are your plans for the future?
My desire is to try to connect with more health institutions, so we can do programs like in the YMCA if possible, or work with hospitals if possible to see if we can help with their uninsured, to have more people connected through this. I want to have a conference. You know, to try to connect medical commissioners or those who want to utilize their skills to reach souls for Christ. I would like to create a conference to bring us together, see what the support look like to them.
Yes.
You know, what are their needs, you know? The next thing is to create this fund for uninsured people. So that's a desire I would like to do, as well as have on-job training.
Yes.
And really make a very professional on-job training, instead of just me saying, hey, guys, do this.
Yeah,
you know? But really make a serious on-job training and just work with more places, so we can just band together to finish this work.
What advice do you have for maybe someone that feels like they might be called to this work,
Man,
but they may be struggling with some of the insecurities or
Right.
some of the things that you struggled with in the past?
Well, come on down. We're in this together. And that's the beauty about this agency. We're a team of people who says, come, we're in this together. One of the things I love about fraternities and sororities is that no matter where you go, you're always in a family. You need a job, you need a place to stay, they're always there to help. Why can't we be the same way? So I want to create us to be that way. So if you say, hey, I want to learn something, come on, call. Let's talk, let's dialogue, and see what can we do to get you a part of this work in this capacity.
That's very good. That's very good. What lessons have you learned through the journey in terms of, like, you know, starting the ministry and starting the organization? Like, what lessons have you learned during that startup process?
That don't look at the end product of someone else's business. Like a lot of times people say, well, Raven, so how many clients have you gotten? And I said, well, at this point in the beginning, it was like 5. Only 5? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, 5 is, I mean, tell the person who's that one that, hey, my diabetes have gone away. They'll say, praise God, I'm 1 to 5, you know? I start to realize that there are people who want to see you successful, like Wildwood, 75 years off the jump. But then ourselves want to see ourselves successful, like Wildwood, 75 years off the jump. And it's like, no, it takes time. You know, the beginning part is where a lot of times people, we don't see what it is to do the beginning.
Yes.
I will say, for myself, I had to learn how my ideals of myself hindered the progression of my business.
Gotcha.
I have to know when I'm being too lazy, when I'm staying up too late, when I don't want to call myself a morning person, how that affects my business. That's difficult. So for me, some of the things I learned in the beginning is that perseverance, if it's not a part of you, I need to take that to Jesus and say, that's not a part of me.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like giving up a lot of times because in essence, if it's not for me sometimes, I'm like, oh no, I'm done. It's like, oh no, don't follow that sinful nature that wants to give up. Because Romans 8 verse 6 and 7 says that the carnal mind has enmity, that's hatred towards God. It's not subject to his law, neither indeed can be. This is a spiritual warfare.
Yes.
So yes, I could say all the godliness right now and say, oh, I care for people. But in essence, my sinful nature sometimes gets really lazy, don't feel like doing anything, and I don't care. And it's like, well, it's not about us.
Yes.
It's about what Christ is needing to do. So let's go back to Christ and say, Lord, you got to help me today.
Yeah.
And so I've learned to not look at tomorrow. I've learned moment by moment.
Yeah.
I need your help, Lord. My sinful nature is keeping me from wanting to eat right. My sinful nature is keeping me from wanting to do what's right for the business, contact the person to check in. I had to learn who I am and how I can mess up the business. You know what I'm saying? Not a lack of clients or not a lack of agents, but myself.
Yeah.
You know, it starts from leadership down.
Yeah, and and I love the fact that you said it's a day by day.
It is.
Thing. You know, we have to surrender day by day. We're constantly battling self.
Right.
So I have to surrender day by day.
Right.
You know, we've talked about Project 144 and all that stuff. We want to know how people can find more information, how they can get in touch with you.
Okay.
What's your website?
Okay, so it's missionaryagency.com.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can call on our business line at 423-521-5058.
Okay.
Or you can even
What about email?
at project144central@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So there's plenty of ways
There's
to
plenty
reach
of
you.
ways
Okay.
to connect with us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so what are some of your needs?
Our needs mainly, first of all, prayer. We need a lot of prayer. We need, again, I would like to create that funding.
Yeah.
You know, because there are so many people who cannot pay for our services. And I do have agents that has bills that, you know, need to live.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult. The next thing, honestly, to share, get our name out there,
Yeah.
you know. And we need skillful workers. We need skillful workers to know that whatever your skill is, come.
Yes.
We can work with you. But if you truly know natural remedies, hydrotherapy treatments, disease and treatment, We need that.
Okay, good, good. Well, we have one more video that we want to go to. We want to put that up. Let's go to that video right now.
583 through 580. Please have your syllabus ready.
My time here is almost up.
Hey, good evening. Hello. My name is Michael. Are you Alex?
Oh, really? Do you think I'll lose my arm?
No, you won't lose your arm because Chavo is a wonderful.
See you.
Soon, I can call myself a health evangelist. We're going to read verse. But where should I go? Where is he sending me?
So I've got that done.
Let's make your medical missionary dream come true. Call us now, and we will match you with the right job after you have graduated from your health evangelism program. Let's finish the work together.
Wow, I love that it says, let's finish the work together.
Yeah.
It's not a one-man thing. It's not a one-woman
In
thing.
this together.
It's, yes, in it together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when a lot of times people see this video, they'll say, oh, well, it's just for those leaving medical missionary schools. So I need to create another one. So people know, no, it's open.
Yes.
It's open. It's just, it definitely is, that promo is definitely for those who are in their schools already. So they'll know there's a placement for you when you get out. Don't be discouraged and wondering, what are you going to do?
Yes.
We can help you. But definitely, whether you're a CNA, a nurse, you want to learn more about natural remedies and apply it to, you know, someone, whether it's, again, over the phone,
Yep.
online,
Yeah.
or going to their homes, we can help you.
Wow. So you have the over-the-phone consultations.
Yes.
You have the
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And that's something I more do myself. And then we have everyone else go out. We have those who want to call, but I tell you this, many people, they want to see you in person.
Yes.
They are paid for you to come out there and be in their homes. So I've been trying to do the phone call thing because, of course, I can't go out. But no, people want you in their homes.
Face-to-face
They
connection.
really like that.
Absolutely.
They really like that.
Yeah. So, and you have all kinds of customizable plans. Do you have customizable meal plans and stuff too?
Yeah, yeah. So we're trying to work with you. What you can and cannot eat, and that's why we have the consultation forum. So we get truly in depth about your life and how you're eating and any kind of side effects that you may have to certain foods or things.
Gotcha. So any allergies and all
Right.
that stuff,
That's
you get that out the way.
Oh, mercy be.
Oh, yeah. And it seems like there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of allergies.
It's a lot, and so it's good to know now up
Yeah.
front before we just give you a general meal and find out your throat then close it.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go to a quick news break, and we will be right back.
Okay.
I can't believe our time is almost up, Raven. This went by so fast. It went by so fast. Tell us a little bit about Project Central. What is that?
Okay, so that's a supportive networking system that I would like to develop. Again, to bring in medical missionaries or those who have the heart of the medical missionary to utilize their skills to reach souls for Christ. So I actually want to have it where, let's say you need a graphic designer or you need a person who's a mechanic. Well, let's put the money back into the pot. So I would let's refer it back into the network.
Okay.
So that person can get the money so he can continue supporting himself, reaching souls for Christ.
Yes.
And it has to be strategic. It has to be purposeful that we're supporting one another.
Yes.
So that's one of my desires, to just get a hub of people within the United States so we can meet needs. Because I have conferences calling me, I have churches calling me, people want nannies, people want Bible workers, people want call porters, and I'm like, I do live-in programs, but they're calling for so many reasons, and I'm like, because they're looking for people who know about health, who have a desire and passion to utilize their skills to reach souls for Christ, and they understand it. And so that's what Project Central is. So I would like to have a conference. I don't know when I'm going to have it, but I want to be able to have one to find out what the support looked like to them.
Nice, nice.
You know?
Now, in the short, maybe 10 seconds,
10
if you give me 10 or 15 seconds, I want you to look into this camera and I want you to speak to that person that may be struggling with what you struggled with.
Okay, so I really want to encourage you that if I want to start a business, if you want to start a business, or you want to be a medical missionary and do the work in our agency, step out in faith. God will make the way. If He put it in your heart, He can do something with you. Let nothing hold you back.
Amen. Thank you so much for sharing today. It's a pleasure having you on the program. And thank you for joining us. God bless. Till next time.